Thanks to a longtime sponsor on this channel, the Coldest Water, we're actually going to be doing a challenge in honor of them, but this will also show you, of course, how to take on the Team Go Rocket leaders. We kind of always do a video like this, sort of maybe near the end of their lineups. I mean, I don't know if they're going to switch anytime soon. That could happen kind of at any point at this stage in how they do things. Now, this is going to be a very similar run against Sierra, but I do want to explain the challenge first off before we get too far into this. Because it's the Coldest Water, our sponsor, you know, they can keep water the coldest, the longest, backed by science in these epic insulated bottles. They got lots of other products too. Please use the description. But I was thinking, you know, we should only limit ourselves to water and ice types right now, and we'll just beat all of the leaders with that. And of course, we'll stick within the Great League levels. So of course, everything needs to be below 1500 CP. For those who are new to Team Go Rocket battles, of course, I'm also level 45 at the time of this recording. And so Team Go Rocket does scale up and down the CP levels of their Pokemon based on what your trainer level is. So if anybody is below level 45, you will face Pokemon that are of a smaller CP than the ones that I'm going after. And so when I kind of nerf it like that and just go for 1500 or below, what I'm implying there, and hopefully what helps you guys, regardless of level I guess, is that theoretically you should be able to use the same combos, but you could even go higher CP, of course. You know, you don't have to limit yourself, I guess is what I'm saying, yet, you know, you can see me take them down at these levels. Now, it's very important to know, this is getting back to basics and everything, but some people don't know this. You know, I often get a lot of hell because of this, but there are times, and a lot of the times this is the case actually, there are times where you will actually not be able to beat the opponent because it can be dependent on what their moveset is. So you're always going to want to be conscious of resisting the Team Go Rocket leaders' attacks while dealing super effective damage, and if you can, double resist or do double super effective, you know, any of those sorts of things. Now, let's not get this twisted. They have completely nerfed Team Go Rocket a lot over the last like year and a half that they've been a part of the game, basically. I think people complained long enough about the leaders. It's kind of sad. I always enjoyed the challenge, and so anything like this Coldest Water challenge, you know, can help us sort of at least add a little bit of a challenge element to it. And so again, these two screens, you know, it's fighting the same Sierra, of course, but it's just doing things a little bit differently. And so you can see sometimes also how making these kinds of like split decisions or making different decisions can benefit you and hurt you in different ways. And so hopefully you notice the differences between the two screens, although very similar, of course. So one thing to note, I guess, just as we're kind of getting close to the end of the Sierra battle right now, we will show Cliff and Arlo coming up next, but Barbarical is definitely insane if you're ever looking for that water type, and what's great about it is it's water and rock. Kind of an interesting typing. Usually you want to use that for like resisting fire double time, although one thing I should note is Barbarical, for instance, like going up against the Ho-Oh that Giovanni has. Barbarical's spammiest movesets are not really good against the Ho-Oh, so in that case it doesn't really work out. That's why we use Pokemon like Omastar. Anyway, that's for Giovanni. This is all about the other Team Go Rocket leaders, not the boss. And you can see Milotic was just sort of an interesting choice. It's like, again, these are not like your number one most best top tier choices or anything like that. These are just more working combinations in tandem with, you know, a whole bunch of videos that I already have on this channel. You know, we do have a library of beating the Team Go Rocket leaders, and we're here for every single time that they change their lineup. So, you know, we'll be back, of course, once they change it. But Milotic, again, interesting choice. The super effectiveness only comes in the form of the dragon attacks, you know, so we did have Dragon Tail on it, whereas when we were using water, obviously against the Kingdra, that was going to resist that double time, because dragon and water, they're going to resist water. But alright, you saw we beasted out through that, and so we got Cliff on the left, Arlo on the right. This time, you know, we're not going any two screens for same leader or anything like that. The Cliff one is going to be very simple. It's essentially a solo. We did get one hit off, I guess, on that Nidoking. Honestly, I think that was an accident if I recall. I am recording over this in post-commentary if that was not evident. And then I guess the other interesting thing is over on the Arlo side, you know, we'll probably focus more on that, but on the Arlo side, this Alolan Sandslash is probably going to do, I'd say, most of the fight. You know, it's going to be like a good 2/3 of it, and obviously above the Great League levels, you could probably just solo run that out. I was kind of on a train of thought earlier that I maybe didn't finish fully, but basically with the nerfing of Team Go Rocket, I don't want to, you know, mince words or split hairs here, but my videos and these tactics that I'm talking about, kind of overanalyzing it and whatnot, is really just for the people who can't win. There are a lot of people that will just use, you know, their 3000 plus CP legendaries and just kind of overpower regardless of typing. But, you know, sometimes those are the same people, and it's not all the time, I'm just saying. Sometimes those are the ones that will comment to me and be like, what the hell, man, I'm level blah 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 and I can't beat them with, you know, 3000 plus, and it's just because they're not, you know, taking advantage of the typings. Usually that's going up against Giovanni though, not so much Arlo, Cliff, Sierra. Those three have just been nerfed to high heaven, man. man. You know, we used to face a Tyranitar, I believe it was like 17,000 CP. Now it's only, what, 13, 14,000? Sounds like a lot to some people, sounds not challenging at all to others. We know. And so definitely that also goes, I guess, if you were to want to, you know, thinking you should leave a comment about what's a better team. Yes, I know. I have lots of playlists, and we can put those in the top pinned comment, maybe the description or somewhere, but those can link you to the other videos that we have on this channel that are going to show probably much more optimized Pokemon picks, of course, because this one has to stick within the water and the ice for the challenge, of course. And I do really want to ask you guys, of course, to check out the sponsor, man, the Coldest Water, and use code KENDO at checkout, get 10% off. So anyway, the main thing, I guess the only thing we should say actually really going up against the Arlo side is that the only Pokemon I could see kind of having maybe an advantage here would be the Scizor, and that's what we're going up against right now on screen. It's not really, you know, its only weakness is fire, and so given the fact that we're pretty much just using water and ice types, most of them don't really have a fire attack. In most cases, you know, we're not saying every single one. Now, interestingly enough, Abomasnow, great choice obviously to go up against Cliff, but you can see when his last Pokemon is Torterra, dude, you just gotta use ice, man, and you can absolutely destroy that thing. It's gonna be a great option because ice is gonna be super effective against grass, but also ground, and Torterra has both of those typings, so your super effectiveness is actually double time right there. And you can see, despite everything, you know, the Scizor, like I was saying, it's like, yeah, sure, that adds some challenge to it, but I mean, we're gonna absolutely destroy that too, so it's not like that was like too challenging or anything of the sort. Get yourself a water bottle, click an end screen on screen if you have annotations on, and thanks for viewing.